I don't know what happened, but the first live session went off. So I'm going to start all over again. For some reason, I don't know what happened. But anyway, guys, if you can hear me, just put a thumbs up in the comment section of this live session. Just put a thumbs up if you can actually hear me. Yeah, my network was probably really bad. But if you can hear me, you can just do like a thumbs up sign. Just do a thumbs up sign if you can hear me, so that I'll continue. All right. Awesome. Thank you. So today, first of all, I want to thank you guys for coming. I don't know. Okay, the audio is bad. Sure. Let me. Better now. If you can hear me, I don't know. So we have someone. We have someone, a guest actually, coming to join us today, and it's all about finance anyway, guys. So yeah, today we're going to be joined by the COO and co-founder of Trove. It's going to be about investing, it's going to be about money, it's going to be about finances. And yeah, like I don't know if you guys have noticed, this year we started the Finance Friday series. It was something that I didn't really plan to start, and so far we've thanks to you guys watching the videos, we've actually gotten to almost 1.5 million people, 1.5 million viewers watching the Finance Friday series. So I have you guys to thank for it. I am so grateful that you guys saw the Finance Friday series worthwhile. So my goal with the Finance Friday series is to give as much education or as much value in terms of personal finance, Nigerian economy, and all of that stuff put together. So today I'm joined by the COO and co-founder of Trove. How's it going now?
I'm fine. Oh, how are you?
Yeah, I know I'm not really one for introductions, but I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us.
Introduce me now.
I'm not that good at it. I don't know how to do it.
No wahala, no
But
wahala.
I want you to just like tell us about you, and what your day-to-day is like, and yeah, what do you do at Trove?
Absolutely. So, like you rightly mentioned, co-founder, COO. And really what that means is I'm in charge of the people. So ensuring that Trove is an amazing place to work in and at. And I remember the day you came to the office. I'm sure you saw the culture, the vibe, but also a lot more, on the operational side. So not just the people, there's a lot more that has to do with strategy, management in general, and, working very closely with the CEO to make sure that things are implemented. And also kind of keeping engineering on their toes. So there's kind of a little bit of pieces of everything. So there's a little bit of marketing, there's a little bit of BD in there, which is business development, our customer service people as well, and overall kind of the people and operations.
Interesting. So okay, tell us what we don't know about you. Like, just give us one fun fact about you, like something
Fun
that
fact
people do not
about
really.
me. Something that people don't know. People actually know this, but I guess if you were kind of in my community. But fun fact is, I love to dance. So I'm like, I could literally just break into a dance, and I'm usually like the life of the party if I'm like at a party or whatever. So I guess yeah, I'm pretty chill.
I think everybody has that. Like, for me now, I can sing better than Beyonce,
Oh,
for
what?
instance.
You
Beyonce
must have
just
thought like,
doesn't know.
oh.
Beyonce just doesn't know, but I can sing
She
better than
doesn't know she
Beyonce.
has a
But
competition.
she
No, give us
doesn't
a
know
little
yet.
intro. Let's do some,
No,
give us
not
a
here,
little
not
bit
here, not here.
break it
Today
down.
is about finance. I don't want to show myself too much, so I'll just leave it for now. But just so Beyonce has competition. So
I
just
like it.
just
I
so
like it.
Beyonce knows.
I think folks are
Okay,
asking for my
so
name. My name is Desayo Ajisegiri.
see, I'm actually bad at this. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Of course, of course.
We almost have the same name. There's the shayo at the end. Just
You know,
keep in mind that God is adding to our joy. Ayo means joy in Yoruba. So we're
precisely. What's your
exactly.
full name? What's your full name?
Oluwa Fisayo is my
Oluwa
full name.
Fisayo. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Mine is Modesayo.
Yeah. You see, we are all coming to joy. We're all coming to Ayo. So
That's right. That's
yeah.
right.
So Desayo, everybody. Welcome Desayo, the COO and co-founder Trove. If
Thank
you guys have
you.
been following the Finance Friday series, I've been talking about Trove for about 4 episodes now. We started an investing journey, and I've also started like exploring a couple of things. I have personally witnessed my life changing because of this. Last year I sort of had like a financial enlightenment in a way, and I just started saving a bit of money here and there. And this year, I said, okay, let me start the Finance Friday series to use for like educating people. And in the middle of this year, we got to talk and we got to interview the CEO, and we met. So let's start with like the first question.
Sure.
So somebody asked the meaning of COO. That's what's the meaning of COO?
Chief
I know the
Operating
meaning.
Officer.
Yeah, so Chief Operating Officer. So that's the meaning of COO. So let's start with the first basic question. Who would you say should invest money? And in your own words, who would you say should invest money, and why do you think people should invest money at all?
Absolutely, I think it's a no-brainer, right? If you want money to work for you, and you don't want to work for the rest of your life, and what I mean for the rest of your life, you don't want to work every waking moment, you should invest money. Investing money, in layman terms, just means that you are actually giving yourself foot soldiers that can go bring more money for you. So if you want to be able to delegate and make your soldiers work harder, invest that money instead of spending it. So even if you're Dangote and you're super wealthy, Dangote actually still invests his money. And if you're
Mhm.
not Dangote and you're just, on the come up like me, you should probably also invest your money. So anyone should. If you want foot soldiers to go bring more money for you, absolutely do it.
Okay. Okay. So this part is obviously not investment advice, but how would you recommend like people invest? Like what portion? Let's say somebody's earning like 100,000 naira, for instance. How should they like allocate? How would you like you know recommend a template or something for like allocating this portion to investment, this portion to saving, this portion to like day to day, giving like people having different risk levels. What
Hmm.
would you say is like a sensible allocation, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually a personal finance coach, so that's a
Okay.
great question. But the problem is, it's hard to give people a template, and that's because like everybody's story is different. But I think the overall or overarching guidance is that depending on how much you make and how much you spend, you want to make sure that you create somewhere between. If you can go for 50, that's like amazing. If you get to a point where you actually save everything or you invest everything you make, you're even at a better place. But of course, if you're just starting out, anywhere from 10 to 30% of your income is a great place to start. But definitely, you want
Mhm.
to push it to a point where you're financially free. And what does financial freedom mean? Financial freedom means that the money you're earning is not what you're spending. So it's hard to give
Mhm.
people a template, but try to cut back on your expenses or try to make more money such that the ratio of money you're spending is a lot lesser than the money you're earning. Push that to as much of 100% as possible. But if you're just starting out, anywhere from 10 to 30% is a good place to start. Does that make sense?
So anywhere from 10 to 30% is somewhat like it's okay to invest, and so for instance, someone like a platform like Trove, for instance, is a
Mm-hmm.
platform where people can invest in things like stocks, ETFs. There are Nigerian stocks there. There are American, Chinese stocks. Which would you prefer, or which would you like say? Okay, as a newbie, which would you like say people should maybe put money in? Is it stocks? Like, should they pick stocks? Should they, they probably cannot really understand the valuation of a company. Should they just go and pick a company that they love, or should they like pick like ETFs, like exchange traded funds, which is like a group of stocks?
So let's segment the gainers to two different categories. The first category is just, hey, they say I should invest my money, so let me just invest my money. I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. And then the other category is, you know what, I actually have 100K. I really want to make this money work for me. And by the end of the year, I want to be at 120K, for instance. I want to make 20% on that money. And I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to put my back into it. I'm willing to actually work hard for that, that margin that I want to get back. So category one, I just want to invest my money. I don't really want to lose my money. Savings,
Okay.
let's not even talk about savings, because like the interest rate these days are just beyond me. They are ridiculous. So let's not even talk about that. So this category of people, they're not really willing to put in the work. Maybe for time constraints, they work really hard during the day, so they don't have a lot of time to read, or whatever the case is, or they're just not, that subject is not just something they're very familiar with. So it will, take them some time to kind of, get up to speed. I would definitely say that you probably do better not picking individual stocks, except if there are certain stocks that maybe somebody has told you about, you've read about, and you really believe in them. So one, if you really, I will talk about ETFs in a second, but if you're really keen on picking individual stocks, I just always tell people to read about the FANG stocks. So Facebook, Amazon, Apple,
Yeah.
Netflix, and Google. It's always a safe bet. Usually, and that's because these companies are stable. A lot of people have kind of gone through their books and their, income statement, their balance sheet, and all of that, and the companies have kind of proven themselves over time. But those companies are also not going to give you the return of like a Tesla, for instance, or a Moderna for all of 2020, all that craziness. But you're probably sure that Amazon is not going to go bankrupt next year.
Yeah.
So that's but you also don't. I would not assume that Amazon would double its stock price in the next year. So it's kind of reasonable. And this is not a stock recommendation at all. This is just an example. If you're really keen on picking stocks, I would say go for blue chip stocks or the more stable companies that, even if you don't know the nitty gritty, you're probably sure that they're probably not going. Like Facebook is probably not going anywhere. However, for those set of people, I'm a beginner. I kind of don't even know where I'm going to start from. I don't have a lot of time. Probably start with ETFs. Now, I would say ETFs are not as exciting. You're not going to hear about like this ETF in the news, except you're really following closely. It's not going to be an Elon Musk saga where he's trading and something is happening to the stock price. Probably not going to be as exciting, right? But your money's almost also safe because, let's even assume that people don't know what ETFs are. They are, exchange traded funds. It's like a basket of stocks. So you, for instance, in a basket of stock, you might have all these FANG stocks in there, everything in there. You're probably getting, if they depend on how they move, if one goes up and another goes down, you're probably netting out. But if most of it goes up and just a little bit of it kind of comes down, you're a little bit further up. So it means that you are getting the benefit of most of the stocks at the same time, and you're not feeling the brunt of the other side of it. So it keeps you in a steady state, so sort of. Again, your ETF's most likely not going to double in price over a month, because if it does, then I'm not sure what ETF you're picking, but again, you would kind of come up to speed. Now for the other side of people who they're like, no, I have this capital, I really want to cash out, I'm willing to do the work. I honestly would not say don't pick individual stocks if you're willing to do the work for it. And that's why Trove, one of the things that we have really worked hard to do is to make sure that our app is self-sufficient for the entire range of traders. So if you're starting out, the ETFs on our platform, if you're starting out and you actually want to go and pick your individual stocks, we also have the Trove value analyzer. We have the technical insights on the app, and maybe Fisayo, we can do something where we can show people how to use that. You can actually go in there and begin to plug things in there. You like all the information you need to evaluate a company is right there. So why aren't you doing it? Now again, this is like for people that they're willing to learn. They're willing to do a lot of Googling, because there'll probably be, terminologies that are there that you don't understand. but investor
Mm-hmm.
picker is
Mm-hmm.
also your friend. And you can also get some of these terminologies on the Trove app. Like the Trove app has really done a lot to bring the information to you. Okay, so I really want people to understand that, like, when we built this, by the way, I have experience on Wall Street. So like I spent the past 8 years on Wall Street. When we built Trove, we put all of that expertise. Like, what would Nigerians want? This is not just a fancy, oh, by the way, I have Apple stocks. Great. We want to empower people to make wealth, like, so all of that information has actually been embedded into the Trove app. So again, I think a long-winded way of answering your question to say, if you're starting out, there are two categories of people. The first set of people, they don't really have a lot of time. Yes, do ETFs or do very stable stocks. But if you have the time, if you have the manpower, you want to do it, use the Trove app, use the value analyzer, use the technical insights, and, make your money.
Yeah, and there's something I learned as well about like compound interest and how, investing for the long term can really, really, really be beneficial because, I started getting all this, and I saw it myself. There will be times when, like the price of a certain maybe stock or ETF will just go high, and you buy and then it goes low, and you buy it's kind of cheaper, and then it goes high and it just goes high altogether. So it's kind of also beautiful. And there's this analogy that if you tell people to say like 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, you can easily get that answer in
Yeah,
seconds. But if you tell people 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, that is a huge number. That is a very,
absolutely.
very huge number in the hundreds of
Absolutely.
thousands. And
Absolutely.
that's how compound interest sort of is, rather than just like saving your money with
Exactly.
basically 0.1%
Oh
or
my
like
God.
no
Oh my
or
God.
no
The
no no
percentages these days,
interest
I'm just
rates.
like, why am I keeping my money here? And the way you explain it is perfect. It's just think of your money as like compounding in interest, and that's exponential compared to just like basic
Yeah.
additions.
So let's go to your work at Trove. How would you describe the problem that you are trying to solve at Trove? How would you describe it in your own words?
Yeah, absolutely. It's simple. We're trying to solve the problem of wealth disparity. So in Nigeria today, a lot of people you're either on the super, super wealthy side or, on the opposite side of that. And there's a huge gap between just, the haves and the have-nots. And for us, the haves kind of already had their way around investing. They probably already know these things, but the have-nots don't know. They don't even know they don't know. And it's sad to see. I think in other countries where they're more established, in first world countries, the gaps are not that wide. Where a lot of people still have access to wealth, they know that if I invest $1, I might be able to make $1 and change, on it within a short period of time. But Nigeria, a lot of the have-nots don't even know that exists. So for us at Trove, it's really helping to solve that wealth disparity, that wealth gap, and we think that Trove is a great way to kind of bridge that gap.
Mm-hmm. So someone asked a question. What does it mean when you say so on the Trove platform, for instance? What does it mean when you say users have an individual foreign trading account held by Drive Wealth LLC and a custodial domestic brokerage account held by ARM? I know those are the people that power or help Trove for like storage and like helping people get their balances. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna just kind of separate it again. I like to build
Okay.
frameworks when I talk, but just so people understand. So we're gonna think about it in two kind of alignments. First, your Nigerian account. So you can trade, you can buy Dangote stock, Dangote sugar, Access Bank, whatever the case is. And we're telling you that you have a custodial account with ARM. Essentially, what that means is that we're going to take care of every and anything that has to do with that stock. So when they pay dividends, you don't have to go chase, the stock exchange for your dividends, because we're going to take care of that. And we're going to just pay that directly into your wallet. It's different if you have an individual account where like you have to do certain things directly with the exchange, and like certain things have to be done by you. We're saying that we know the stress of Nigeria is too much. Everybody knows that it's a lot, but we're going to take some off you, and we're going to actually help you manage any kind of relationship you need to have with the NSE or with the exchange, and we're going to take that burden off you. Essentially, you just come, invest your money, and everything else will be, will kind of go through us. That's what we mean by the custodial account. So we're managing everybody's kind of portfolio through ARM.
Okay.
On the flip side, you have an individual account with DriveOff LLC. What that means is if you actually go to DriveOff and you say, hey, I'm Fisayo Fosudo, Trove said I have an account with you, they will actually know you by name. They'll know you by name. You actually have an account by name. It's in your name. It's not Trove's name. And you can go to them and say, hey, look, this is me. You're relating with me as a person. Yes, I was funneled through Trove, but I am Fisayo. And I can prove my identity, and they know you by name.
Oh, that's actually interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I know the terminologies, but I didn't know exactly the way you explained it just now. So that's also interesting. Also, another person asked about like withdrawing money from Trove. Like, what, for instance, I know that I saw some comments. So these are like questions from the comments. And someone was like, oh, it took a while before they got their withdrawal. It took a while before, when they sold the stock, they got, the money for their stock. And also violation of good faith. How long does it take? What might cause delays in withdrawal? And what's the withdrawal process like? And, what's a good faith violation? So those are three questions. Well, if you want to, I can.
Why are you bombarding me now?
No problem. We can take it one by one. So first of all, like,
it's okay.
what is the withdrawal process like?
Yeah. So for Nigerian, so if you sell your Nigerian stock or like for Nigerian kind of base securities, it's T+1. So you should be able to get your funds out in about 24 hours after. Of course, business days. Don't call us on a Sunday like, oh, I withdrew yesterday. We're chilling, or at least we're sleeping or going to church or something. But T+1 business day. And then for foreign securities, it's a little different because there is that settlement time, which we're going to talk about in good faith. That is really anywhere from 3 to 5 days after withdrawal. And that's because your funds have to settle before we can actually give that funds back to you. So now, good faith violation.
Sorry to cut you short. Do you mean 3 to 5 days after selling, or 3 to 5 days after? I didn't get that.
Yeah, so if you need it in a dumb account in dollars, you can actually get it maybe a little less than, maybe like even on the second day, I think, second or third day. But if you need it to be converted and to be given to you in Nigeria, it would be anywhere from T plus 3 to 5 days. So 3 to 5 days after. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And what's a good faith violation? Okay, I think you already kind of explained.
Yeah, so maybe I should kind of give you an example of what that looks like, because it's very confusing. We actually have a blog about this, by the way. Maybe I'll send the link to you and you can post it for everyone. But a good way to kind of explain it is, Fisayo buys the stock on, Monday morning comes around and you have $0 in your account. But you have this position that you wanted to liquidate because you find something else that's like exciting. So you have $100,000, or let's say $100,000 worth of, or $10,000 worth of Apple. You don't think Apple is gonna move in the next 2 to 3 months?
God,
you've
when?
been investing now. You've been investing. I'm sure you have that. You don't think Apple is gonna move in the next 2 months, and you're like, what? Let me use my money. Let me just quickly run a thing or two. You know how we do it now. We hustle.
Yeah.
And so you sell the Apple stocks on that Monday morning, and you actually use that money to buy the famous Tesla stocks, for instance, because you've heard, Tesla is moving, you gotta, be on that drink, whatever. And that's okay. The first transaction is okay. You sold, and then you use that money to buy. That's fine if you leave Tesla in there for 2 days. But if you now turn around on Tuesday and you actually sell Tesla, the Tesla that you bought yesterday with the money that hadn't settled, then you have a good faith violation. Do you understand?
So basically, I guess I don't know if I'm correct. Maybe I'm wrong, but Trove is not for like people that want to day trade, for instance, or want to.
Well, so we're actually actively working on making sure that is a component that we can offer. Right now, no.
Okay.
But hopefully, in the nearest future, we'll be able to give that functionality to certain people. But yeah, right now, no. If you want to actively day trade and use those, bounce the money around, right now you can't do that, unfortunately. Except if you have the cash. So, for instance, if you, on that Monday morning, you had like, say that $10,000 in your account, you didn't sell anything you had before, and you actually wanted to use that to kind of do a few hustles, you can break that up and invest in different things. The problem happens when you sell something, you turn around and buy something else. So you sell A, you turn around, you buy B, and then you turn around again and sell that B within 2 days. That's when you have a
Okay.
good faith violation. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I get it. But the good faith violations affect like withdrawals, for instance, on Trove.
Yeah. So if the money hasn't settled, and you remember we said you bought A, well, you sold A, you bought
Yeah.
B,
Yeah. You
and then
sold
you
A,
now
you bought
sold
B.
B again,
Yeah.
and the money hasn't settled now.
Okay.
Since you wait
Okay.
for that 2 days.
Okay. Okay. So also there's a question that people usually ask as well is referrals. You know, I try to like make people use my referral link on Trove. So
Now you
how
the
do
cash out
referrals
now.
work?
You not cash money now.
Yeah. So if people want to make money by recommending people to download Trove, because you can actually make money. I have.
Yes.
So you can
Like
actually
I
make
said,
money if you.
cash money, king money, young money. I love it. I love it. I love
But
it.
if you want to like how does it work, for instance?
Yeah, so I mean, it's simple and straightforward. Just have people use your when you go on your app, there's a part where it says refer friends or share to friends or something like that, and then it gives you a code. And this is for anybody that has a Trove app. It should be right there. It gives you a code. Use that code to invite other people, tell them to, and then also gives you a link actually, so you can share a link, or you can use that code. If you told your community and there are 500 people and they download and they make sure they use your code, make sure they use your link directly or your code, it would automatically give you either 5 shares of Dangote, or I think it's GT Bank or GT
GT
code now.
GT GT cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now to more. These ones were asked directly to me now.
Okay.
They said I should come and attack you. So
Take it
so
easy on me now.
somebody asked for your handle, by the way, in the comments here. I was just trying to read through the comments.
Oh,
And you
okay,
can
okay.
do
Okay.
you want to type it in the comments so
Sure.
we just see it?
Yeah, 1 second. I think I've posted it.
Okay. So now, okay.
This attack,
Is my identity, the NIN, the BVN, and all my like personal identity, is it safe with Trove?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So one thing I should tell any and everybody that's listening is that we, as a founding team at Trove, I mean, if anybody takes care of your information in the industry, it is us. We're very particular about the way we do business. We're not the people that would cut corners or do anything of that sort. So, first of all, I just want your confidence to be high. Like I said, I have 8 years on Wall Street. If I was bending rules or doing, I probably wouldn't have been there that long and grown as far as I did. We have a compliance team. Our CEO told me is like a stickler for just following the rules. Like, following rules and regulations are things we do not play with at all on the team. And of course, if you meet our CTO, like just the way he builds Trove, in fact, as a whole, it's actually stunning because we make sure that things are encrypted, double encrypted, making sure, because this is financial information and we're not rookies in this business at all. So the first thing I want everybody to know is that confidence, knowing that the people on the front lines actually are looking out for you. I use Trove. My mom uses Trove. My brother, like literally my entire family. And that's the same for all the founders. So if it's not safe, I don't know why I would want to put my entire family in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first part. The second part of it is that we really only use your NIN or your BVN for your identity. So say for instance, you've come now, you've built your wealth on Trove, you're killing your cash now, you're doing all these great things. And somebody else just comes and says, but I'm Fisayo now, and wears turtleneck and black for that matter. And they just find a way to mask up and look like you. And we're just caught off guard because they're like, but you kind of look, but you're. how else would we differentiate you? So really, it's for your own safety, it's for your own identity. We're getting it because we want to make sure that if anybody comes back, they have to be able to prove that this is who I am. And that number is unique to you. We're not using the number for anything. We don't have access to your bank account. We can't use it for anything, really. It's really for your safety and for your protection.
Okay. Okay. So speaking of, like, identity safety now, the money itself, is somebody asked, is my money safe with Trove, and what exactly are the regulations like for Trove?
Yeah, I think that's a very broad question. Yes, your money is safe. In the US, like I said earlier, if you go to drive out and you say, hey, look, I am Fisayo, this is my BVN, they can't you have an account with them, and that's just that. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So that part is is settled. And in the US, there's this old SIPC insurance that you have up to 500K insured. So if you've invested up to 500K with Trove, fantastic, all your money is safe. And that's even like a US law. That's not even a Nigerian thing. So what was the other part of the question you asked me? Sorry.
Yeah, regulations, both in Nigeria and the US.
Awesome. So in Nigeria, we have applied for the SEC license. So we're waiting to hear back in another, I'm hoping like in another couple of weeks, maybe end of month or next month or something. But that's kind of out of our control. In the US as well, our brokerage partners also have all these different SEC regulations that they have to comply with, and they're not going to jeopardize their own business because of a Nigerian arm. So on multiple parts, we're making sure that the people that we work with, I recognize. Everybody knows ARM. It's been an asset manager in Nigeria forever, for 20 years, I think, or so. So, the people that we're working with are very credible, even we ourselves, again. That's why I started with the trust on the people that you're working with, on the people that are, on the front lines. And I think we've established that by also kind of working with very recognized and stable organizations.
Okay. Okay. So another question a lot of people ask me is, among the many videos I have posted, like talking about my own personal journey as well, but people always ask, like, can they actually use Trove? If I'm in Nigeria, for instance, and I go to the UK, can I actually use Trove? Or if I'm in the UK, can I use Trove? Maybe Ghana, US, or so. Like, can I actually use Trove if I am not Nigerian?
So if you're not Nigerian, or if you're Nigerian and you live in these places, it's two different things.
Okay. So if I am Nigerian and I live in different places, okay. Well, it's two pronged. The thing is, I've gotten Ghanaians, I've gotten Tanzanians, I've gotten people from many parts of Africa ask if they can actually use Trove, and then I've gotten like Nigerians in diaspora ask if they can use Trove. So,
Okay.
is there a difference?
So yeah, there is a difference. Right now, Nigerians in diaspora, provided you have your Nigerian identity, you can use Trove from anywhere. It doesn't matter. You
Okay.
can download and start using right now. Now, for the other Pan-African folks that are eager to use Trove, just a little bit more time, and you'd be able to use Trove. Not in the very moment, and that's why I was asking. But are you Nigerian? Are you just living other places, or
Okay.
are you not Nigerian? I think those are two different things. So, like I said, if you're Nigerian and you live in wherever, provided you have your Nigerian identity, you can use Trove. If you're not Nigerian and you're kind of Pan-African, in a little bitty, tiny, small time, you will be able to. So just hang tight.
So if I am, maybe, I don't know, if I don't have Nigerian identity, but I don't know how to describe it. If I'm in the UK or US, for instance, I can't use Trove.
No, because you're in the UK or the US doesn't mean you don't have Nigerian identity. They did like BVNs in the US. At least I know directly. They came to the US and like did BVNs for a bunch of people. I know they did like Atlanta. I know they did in New York. They did in Texas. So like it doesn't matter. You could have it if you live here. It doesn't matter.
So back to the like security question. What are the recommended means of identification that people should use for Trove?
Yeah, absolutely. Your passport, your international passport, is what I think when we initially started. That's kind of what people were using. Now you can use your NIN slip, so your name slip. You could also use like a driver's license, but you have to have a you have to have like a address verification. of some sort, so like
Okay.
bank statement or like utility bill of some sort, something that shows your address, like this is where you live. So yeah, you can use your driver's license, your international passport, you can use your NIN slip. You
Okay.
could also use your voter's card.
Oh, okay, okay. So for the like house address verification, what are the things that people should know? Is it like utility bills or just
Yeah,
like
so
bank
it could
statement?
be your bank. I mean, people use any and everything. So it could be your bank statement that just carries your address. So what we're really looking for is that address. So you can, if you upload your bank statement but it doesn't have your address, we still can't use it because we're not really trying to check the amount on your account. It's really your, your address. Or if you use your
Mm-hmm.
utility bill, make sure your address is legible because that's kind of what we want to see. Some people also use, I think, like waste disposal receipt or something where like they pay for like their recycle or something. I know people have used that before and that has worked too. Any official documentation that has your home address on it is allowed.
The home address or the home address and the name? Or it's just the home
Home
address?
address and name. I mean, it could it could differ. People might just be living with their parents, and so like their
Yeah.
direct name is not. So in that situation, we just want to make sure that if we come to this address, we can find you there. And if we wanted to verify this address, we can actually. So if you've gone through the whole hassle of proving that's your bank, then that's why. Just do you understand what I'm saying? That's why that would make sense. So you can't just say, "Oh, I'm Fisayo," but let me just give them some random address. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it aligns with your name, that's what makes the most sense. But if you've kind of gone to your bank, you've done all that legwork, just give us your bank statement with that address and your name, and you'll be good to go.
Okay. So also in terms of like compliance, can you just state like a couple of things that your team is doing in terms of like protecting people from fraud or protecting people from, all these like shady practices or anything? How like what is compliance like for the team, and what are you doing to like make it better?
Yeah, I mean, we are first of all, our team goes through training pretty often. So we make sure that we're kind of renewing our systems. Our customer service team is very on top of it, and we kind of train through like data protection, data preservation, and just making sure that things are kept the way they're supposed to be kept. The way our engineering team has built the system, they are like if you log into your Trove app, you can actually turn on something. How do I say, like a pin, like a password thing, so that if
Yes,
you're
yes,
not
yes.
using your Trove app for a while, it would just log you out automatically, and you have to put your password to get in. That's another
Mm.
security thing that we're doing. So we're taking different security measures, and we're actually revamping that. So like you would see like from time to time there'll be updates to the app. We'll probably change something. It's not really because we're feeling cute and funky. A lot of times it's because like there's something that we need to update, especially with regards to security, and we're just improving that day to day. We also have compliance terms that we have to meet with. So for instance, we want to make sure that if anybody comes to audit the Trove app, they don't find sloppy or things slipping through the cracks. So we have to make sure that our data protection is up to par. So if we ever get audited, where we have our ducks in a row, our books are clean and good.
Okay. So okay, very interesting. Now I want to ask you something. Out
Oh,
of the
wow, you've been asking me something since now. What do you want to ask me again?
realm of like stocks, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, not out of the realm, but like comparison. Like, which would you pick,
Mm-hmm.
cryptocurrency or stocks?
Ah,
And which would you pick? Which would you consider like a long-term investment, for instance?
okay. Great question. Okay,
And you
so
guys, if you're watching this, you can also like answer with your own picks, cryptocurrency or stocks. Which do you think is the long-term investment? Just like reply in the chat section below.
I think for me, again, it would depend on who you're asking. But for longer term investment, I'll probably go with stocks.
Okay.
However, I mean, there are people who invested in Bitcoin many years ago and they really like, made their money. So it depends on who you're asking. Personally, for me, just because I understand fundamentals better, I just feel a little safer with stocks, and I feel like it's probably not going to vanish, and they're Okay, I thought I lost you for a while. Yeah. So
Okay.
right now, a lot of people are still trying to understand this crypto life,
Yeah.
span and things like that. Now you can still do it, but maybe shorter term, or medium, maybe short to medium term. But long term investment, I'll definitely go with stocks.
Mm.
Personally. Now you can ask me that question in 6 months, and we would have gotten a lot more data on crypto, and my answer could change, perhaps. But in this time and space, I'll probably go with stocks.
Mm. Yeah. Have you heard about the e-naira though?
I have. There's a lot more that I want to hear about it. I want to read more about it. I have heard that people are working on that. I have some questions that I would like answered, and then I can form an opinion on it. But I have heard about it.
I have a video on it, Sha, if you want to watch it.
Okay. Oh, is it
I
on your
just
YouTube?
posted
Oh,
the last
gotcha.
Finance
Okay.
Friday video on Friday.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. I will actually go watch it. I haven't seen that. So, did you answer a lot of questions? Because I'm
I
curious.
kind of, yeah, I read about like 20 something articles and I just like put everything together and I
Oh,
just made a
sweet,
video.
sweet, sweet. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll watch that.
Okay. So I think we are almost done. I have one last question. This is what books would you recommend or what resources would you recommend to people who are new to investing?
Awesome. I know a lot of people don't like to read. So let's not even. So I think with Trove, we've done a lot with just kind of bringing that information, like I said, to your fingertips. So Trove does have a blog. If you go on the www.troveapp.co/blog, you see a lot of resources there for but for beginners. Like if you're just beginning to invest, there's a lot of resources that you can glean from. There are things that, like you said, we've kind of synthesized from multiple avenues, and kind of give you like a step by step path. But if you're looking for, I don't know, what specific resources would people like? Are you saying like go read like a whole heavy options trading book? Because I wouldn't recommend that. You would probably be completely lost. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say start from the Trove blog. There's so much there, and then on your Trove app as well, there's an FAQ part. On your front page of the Trove app, there's news that kind of, every single time, like it's dynamic. It changes based on what's
Yeah.
happening. That's definitely a good thing to always skim through and just know what's, kind of what's trending and what's happening. And of course, I cannot overemphasize Tommy from Trove's newsletters. It gives you juicy stocks just conveniently in your inbox every Sunday, and it's honestly such an amazing read. Like I read it. We send it out, but I still go back and I'm just now wow, Tommy from Trove. So cannot overemphasize if you're just starting out, because finance can be dry, frankly.
Mm.
Reading about finance, reading about stocks, it really could be a dry read. So I think, I'm very proud of the team to just, having kind of helped build this whole Tommy from Trove persona in a way that people don't have to feel like they are reading a textbook. It's easy to digest, it's easy to read, and you actually still glean a lot of what's happening, in the kind of industry from those newsletters. So use the Trove blog. Like I said, is www.troveapp.co/blog. There's a lot of information there. There's also the FAQ on your app. And then there's a bunch of news just on the front page once you open your Trove app. Daily news, depending on what's trending and stocks that you're probably searching for. So it's kind of dynamic to you as well. But of course, the evergreen, amazing, one of my personal favorites, one of my amazing things I Trove personally as a founder, as a Trove Tommy from Trove's newsletter, cannot overemphasize it.
Yeah, I think the news section on the app, for instance, are they like context aware to the stocks? Because I know that whenever you check like a particular stock or an ETF or something, it shows like a news like carousel. Does it show news specific to those stocks?
So yeah, so usually the way it happens is like it has different categories. So like you would see, I think real estate is there. I think there's energy as well. It shows news for those different segments. So depending on what you're interested in, you can kind of just skim through and see what's happening there.
Mm. Mm.
And also, I also even forgot to mention, we also send out daily market reports for Trove. So if you
Oh,
are that heavy trader, you want to know what the technicalities are saying, we send those out. I think It's around like maybe early in the morning Nigerian time or midnight. So you should check your emails for that. We also send out treasure troves emails. Again, these are just like, it's a ton of information for you to consume. But if you're just starting out, definitely check out the Tell Me From Trove newsletter. It would always say Tell Me From Trove. That's definitely a way to get your feet wet. And when you feel comfortable enough, then you can expand. But there's a plethora of resources that we offer, a plethora of them.
Okay. I think
So are you gonna sing for us now? We've done the finance thing. So are you gonna sing? Let's give Beyonce
no,
a run for her money.
no,
You have
no,
to
no,
do
no,
it.
no, no. Beyonce doesn't deserve to hear. She doesn't deserve to hear my voice. It is just what it is. I'm going to save myself for the dinner with
And more.
Jay-Z.
I like it. Thank you so much, Fisayo. I really appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much. This was actually interesting. I learned some things as well, and yeah, I hope people learned a couple of things. So, Desayo said you should not invest in cryptocurrency.
I didn't say don't invest in crypto. You said long
I'm just
term.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I
Okay.
think people should benefit from the volatility in the short term for sure. Long
Mm,
term, we just don't know where it's gonna go. It might go well.
yeah.
We don't. I mean, personally, just for my personal sanity, short to medium term, absolutely do crypto. I mean, Bitcoin did a lot, has done a lot, and then there's Earth. Like, there's so much like people can kind of use crypto for. But if we're talking long term, I'll probably go with stocks in this moment. That could change in 3 months.
Okay. So, thank you so much, Desayo, for joining me on this session. It was, I think, about
My
50
pleasure.
minutes, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, okay.
I gained. If you did gain anything, you can just like drop a comment or like maybe DM or something. Just reply. And yeah, thank you so much, Desayo. This was enlightening, and I look forward to the next one. I don't know who I'm going.
Absolutely.
I don't know who I'm going to speak with, but I look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. I'm sure whomever you talk to on the Trove team, you're gonna get the same energy. Or one on the same.
Sure.
Thank you, Fisayo.
All right. Thank you so
Bye
much.
everyone.
All right. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. If you have any questions at all, like you can feel free to just like drop a comment. Also, you can check out Finance Friday series on YouTube. If you are probably, I feel if you're probably new to like me or my channel, and I'm guessing people who are watching this are okay with it anyway. So you can just check out the Finance Friday series, and you just drop a comment there. Say you watch this live, and I'm going to be replying. I'll reply you guys. Just mention that you watch this live, and I'll reply you on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the very next one.